So for the candy bars, the ones that Charlie actually had to open, we went and got, so originally we didn't have a printer, a colored printer, so what we did was we actually got the original Wonka bar printouts, but we turned them black and white, and then we used markers to outline them. And as you can see, this isn't 100% perfect, but it worked. And then we also got, here, if you look down here, we got candy bars. We broke up a couple of candy bars and we actually put them in, but to make it so that it had a shape, we actually took pieces of cardboard and we put them inside tin foil. And then we broke up pieces of candy bars and put them in here for when Charlie has to open it and he actually gets a piece of candy. But anyway, so that's how these ones went. And then we actually had one of the teachers come in and print out some actual Wonka bar things for us. As you can see, these ones are more pixelated and they look a lot better. But that's just how we did the Wonka candy bars.
So this is our candy cart. We made it, nutterific. We made it using things and scraps that we had around the yard. The wheels came off of a yard cart that was broken, and this was some old plywood we had laying around. This was part of an old desk. We used anything we could find that was scrap and recycled it. And these were new boards actually for the top. And then we have a piece of plywood under here. We got online to look at real candy carts in Europe and how they look. We tried to duplicate it, and it does have a top, but we found out that for our scenes, getting it through the doors and everything, it was more awkward, so we took the top off and just left it as it is, and it worked great, just like this. Then the kids made a sign in the Wonka style of font, and they used glue and glitter and put it on both sides with just paper, and it looked great.
Also, I know this is very strange, but for the coin, we couldn't find anything really, I guess,
Bright enough?
Bright and just like a silver dollar for when Charlie finds a silver dollar and says, oh, can I buy just one more? So we actually went and purchased a medal, a fake medal, and we took it off of its hook and we actually cut the two pieces of stuff that hooked it onto the necklace. And we turned this silver medal into a coin for when Charlie purchases the candy bar with the golden ticket.
So this is Mike TV's set for Willy Wonka, and what we did was we got basically all this is the frame for clothing, and it's on the wheels. We cleaned it off, and we put a sheet over the back of it so that it would hold it all kind of in place, made sure that it was really tight on the top and the bottom bar, and then we made these wood grain looking pieces of cardboard, covered it with some black material. This is athletic wear material. It looked really good because you could actually see the little dots all over in it. It looks like a TV screen. And then we glued that on, framed it with this other cardboard that was actually scraps of something else too. And it had a little bit of foam on the edges, looked really good. Glued it all together, put some tin foil right here, folded. That looked great. Put a W on our little placard here that we made out of tin foil.
We took the bottom of some 2-liter pop bottles and we spray painted them silver and just hot glued them on. And then that was our TV.
We have a strobe light here on this pedestal with one of these little pop on and off lights. We didn't actually use the light part of it, but you could if you wanted to even make it a red button if you painted it. We had this plugged in with the strobe already on so that when Mike TV comes and says, I'm going to be on TV, he hits this, they flash it for just a second, and it flashed the audience with a quick strobe.
Just enough time to give him so that he could actually exit the stage.
And then with a lot of lighting flashing in the room, we brought the whole group of the cast over to this wonderful little cart.
This is actually a computer cart, and it's, here, let me show them. This is just a normal computer cart. All we did was we took the top off. And right here, there's actually a hole for computer wires to come out so that you can actually charge your computers. Well, we decided that it would be really funny if we took a person and actually laid them inside right here. And we actually did. We found a really small girl, and we told her to stay right here. And so she did. But as she was sitting in here with the doors closed, when Charlie says, something's happening, and they turn to look over here, she actually had this doll and put it up through the computer card screen, or through the computer cord part. And so that's how Mike TV shrunk.
And we'd have him wiggling. And this one got so many laughs from the audience.
It really did.
Our actor that did the part of Mike TV actually did a high-pitched, smaller voice, and he sounded really funny, almost like he was on helium or something. But it turned out really well, and the audience really loved this part. The little kids especially loved it. Do you want to show them how you made your glasses?
Oh. These goggles are actually they're jar rings. And what we did was we actually took them, and all we did was we put a little bit of paint over it. We just let the paint drizzle on top of these. And then we took some pipe cleaners, and you can actually tell that this is pipe cleaner, and we just hooked them together. Then we got some elastic and made them into goggles so that they could wear these for the TV room. And they worked out great.
This is our nut machine. This was a big challenge as well. We took basically an old rack that held lights for the tech crew and cleaned up all the lights, and then basically put curtains around it and just pinned them on and put boards on top right here. And these boards are hooked on to the basic rack with some hose clamps so that they can be used later on. And they held the boards in place, put a board across the top, and then draped our curtains down from that. This is cardboard that they punched holes in, wrote good and bad on, and had it hooked up to the extension cord in the back so that they could go turn on those lights when they wanted, or these lights when they wanted.
These are actually old Christmas lights. All we did was we got a pencil and just poked holes in the form of the letters, and then we put the Christmas lights in, and we sprayed the Christmas lights to be that color. And this is how it works. So usually they'd say, good nut, or they would say,
Bad nut.
bad nut.
These puppets they did have to purchase. They were a bit expensive, but they were a very good investment and turned out really well. And as you can see, if I'm not here and you can't see me, my hair, it turns out really well for them to do these things with the puppets. The stairs were some stairs we already had, and we just painted them the colors we wanted, and this whole thing comes off and just sets up here. We had some blocks on the back for Veruca to fall through to.
And this actually opens. All you need to do is turn out the lights backstage. And we had some people back spotting her to make sure that she didn't fall. But what she did was she just went, I want it now! And she went in like
Pretty much sat down and put her feet up in the air and kind of rolled back off onto the other blocks.
Exactly.
Those are the blocks right there. Get a picture.
These blocks.
With
So
the
we put these
stairs.
right behind the staircase, right behind that. And then we took these stairs and put them right next to it so that she could get down very easily and quickly.
And we did have athletic spotting pads on there so that they wouldn't fall off and get hurt.
Yeah.
So that they were for like gymnastic pad, you know, the cushions, so that it made sure that everything was okay and we didn't have anybody get hurt. We had a lot of people back there making sure that that scene went very safely and very well. This is our pink candy boat. We're showing you the back side of it first so that you can see what we had to work with. This was an old set prop of a school bus, which we didn't destroy. We just covered things with cardboard on the other side.
Originally, though, it was just a normal flat, and you can do it with any normal flat.
That's right.
All we did was we put cardboard on the front, and then we took
We
some
added
handles and put them right here and right here so that this pink candy boat could actually be lifted.
On and off stage
Yes.
quickly.
On and off.
Now we're going to turn it around and let you see the front side of it. This is the umbrella that we used at the end of the candy boat. The Oompa Loompas would stand here twirling it. I can't get back all the way over there because...
It made it look like a water wheel. Here, Mom. Can I try?
Sure.
Okay. So the Oompa Loompas just took this umbrella and brought it right about here and twirled it to make it look like a water wheel. At the moment, it doesn't look like much because it's kind of hard to get it where it's supposed to go. Not for hire. That was actually one of Mark Twain's boats. And we decided to write not for hire on it because Willy Wonka's not hiring anybody either. But we just thought it would be funny. We also decided that we would do some white candy lifesavers, and I painted these. And we also decided to do some candies along the edges. And then this is our chocolate river right here. And that's how we did the pink candy boat. This is all cardboard. We decided that all we needed, well, okay, what we did was we actually stapled the, if you can see right here when I push the cardboard in, there's actually some staples that aren't in all the way, but they're stationary.
And screws. We used screws
Yes.
as well. And the boat did not stand on the normal stage. We have steps in front of our stage, and the cast stood on the upper steps while the Oompa Loompas holding the boat stood down lower, so that the people, the actors inside the boat looked like they were higher up, like they were sitting on seats in the boat. It worked out really well. It was huge. This was probably our biggest piece for the scene, but it turned out really well. And we did the lifesaver painting on it so that it looked like real lifesavers, and it turned out quite cute. I think that one worked out really well for what we had to work with. And, you know, we did a lot without spending a lot of money. The cardboard we got as a donation from a cardboard company. They were a sponsor, and it worked out really well. This is the bed that we had for all of the grandmas and grandpas. And it turned out really well the way they did it. We actually have wooden blocks here, 3 of them on each side.
There's 6 theater blocks.
And we have the whole thing on a platform with wheels so that it's easy to move. And we bolted the headboard and the baseboard, or footboard, onto all of it. And then they would sit in here like this, so it looked like the bed was super short, and cover their legs. They alternated legs, of course, and they would cover their legs with the blanket like this. Turned out really well for our scene inside the bucket home. And it allowed them to get up and move too. Grandpa Joe was able to get out without showing too much of our set like that, and we didn't give away too much with that. But this was a quick and easy way to put together a bed for that scene.
Okay, so this is Willy Wonka's coat, and it's basically we got it from a thrift store, and it was
A normal jacket.
normal woman's jacket. And so, but it was really short up front, and our Willy Wonka is really tall and skinny. So what we needed to do was we needed to chop it up in the front so it looked like a vest coat. And then what we used for the pockets up front is we cut those off, and then we put them in the back for the tails, which means the tails actually have pockets.
We sewed that part on, and it looks, you can't even see where we attached it. It looks really good. You can see it's right here. But it made some fun tails, and then we had some gold trim that we made a brand new lapel, and we took parts from the lapel that were already the purple color, and we used those to widen it out in the back, to add this placket in the back, and we also had to make the seams here bigger for his arms because he was a little bigger than the jacket was. This is our Candyman. My husband made this, and we already had him for the place, so he was a nice addition to our net room. Basically, all we had to do with him was add wheels to the bottom so that we could get him on enough stage quickly, and a little bit of weights onto it so that he didn't tip over too badly. It made a nice addition, and it was a lot of fun.